Exactly. And when they continue like this, I don't think we're going to have a problem. But those who are getting accused of rape and sexual assault anyways, they're clearing their own house and just have to sit back and watch. Not only have we made the decision, this president, after the last three presidents promised and failed to do it, but we've got Jerusalem now. 4 or 8 years. The fake news media, I'm never going to give it credit for. That's why it's so important that not only are we all here and we're supporting this cause, but we're getting the message out. Because it's going to be a messaging battle in 2018 and 2020. And we're going to have to fight that one. And young people in this room, we're going to fight it harder than anyone. So we need to recognize all of you for being here. Thank you very much. It's a great time to be American. First of all, we're Americans. Clap for that. You're American. Second of all, Donald Trump is our president.
Yeah!
Number 3, this one is important, guys. Hillary Clinton is not. Someone needs to remind her of that, because I'm not so sure that she understands it this way. It's okay, she's got some concussion issues, and the coughing fit, and whatever, so whatever. I gotta say though, I think we're starting to understand that although we're in a victorious time and all of that goes going on, if we sit back and we rest on it, we're going to lose in 2018. That's the cold hard truth. There's a wave coming, and it's a democratic wave because they're excited, they're getting more excited, they're going to play up their identity politics, they're going to play up their anti-Trump fake news media, and we're going to have to be the ones in the front line fighting it. And that's why I do so much for Trigger Point, I do so much for Charlie Kirk, and so all the donors in here, if you could stand up, because you're why we're here, you're so important. So if you're a donor to Trigger Point USA, you're the purpose here.
The goal is not for them to agree with you. The goal is for them to respect you. Because if they respect you, they're more likely to listen to you. And that goes for your professors as well, because I know a little thing or two about liberal college professors, and here's the thing about them. They don't like it when you disagree with them, but I'll tell you this much. They like it that you're listening to what they say enough to question them because they're narcissistic. So it's like, oh, if they have an opinion that's different than mine, it must be that they're listening to me. So if you're in a situation in your colleges or in your workplace where somebody in power and authority position, you know that they don't think like you do, you know that they're a liberal, you know that they hate Donald Trump, do not attack them and tell them they're wrong, because they're not going to listen to you. They're going to shut you down and shut you off. Get them to respect you, because if they respect you, then now you've got them in your corner, and that's how you change their mind. So I want you guys to remember that when you go back to your college campuses or your workplace or wherever else, because it's been very powerful. That's why I sit down with people like Trevor Noah and Bill Maher and the ladies of The View. That's why I do it. Because if I can reach out to just a few of those people in the audience that might hate everything that we stand for as conservatives, if I can reach one of those people, that's another voter. That's another person that believes in limited government. That's another person that believes socialism sucks, and that's what we need. We need millions more of them. Kneeling, that's free speech to them. But then if I, or any of you, say that you think that it's a little messed up that Colin Kaepernick kneels for the national anthem and disrespects our military and our veterans, then all of a sudden we're not allowed to say it. Which is what I find so interesting about the left and their whole idea of what free speech means. To them it means we can say whatever we want to say, but you can't say anything back to us, because then we're going to retreat into our safe spaces. I don't do safe spaces. I hope you guys don't do it either. So you remind the liberals next time they tell you like, oh, well, I had an opinion, but now you can't have an opinion, because if you have an opinion, then you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a white nationalist, you are every name in the book. You are now intolerant if you disagree with a liberal. Bull. You tell them free speech, and you tell them about their free speech zones. You pull out that beautiful picture of the United States of America and you say, this is our goddamn free speech zone. And I apologize for the language. I have to work on it. My dad hates it when I swear. I'm sorry, Dad. The next thing I want to talk about, too, speaking of the United States and the outline of this country, I'm one of those people that just believes there are certain areas of this country on the outline of that map that should have a frickin' wall around it, near it. that wall. We're going to. I'm telling you guys, first we got tax reform, then we're gonna have welfare reform, then we're gonna build the wall, then we're gonna destroy radical Islam. It's all gonna happen because we've got a president who wants to make it happen. For the first time in 8 years, we have a president that thinks that Americans come first in our own dang country. What a radical notion. Here's another radical notion. Someone that's on his 5th deportation and murders Kate Steinle should not be in our country, and he shouldn't have anyone else coming to our country either. And the fact that the liberals don't see that is amazing. But I want to give you a tip and a technique because it shuts them down every single time you talk about immigration. Because we know that they hate the walls, they know that they hate the bans, they hate all these things that keep Americans safe. The way you shut them down is you say this. Tell me why a legal immigrant that spends thousands of dollars because they respect the rule of law and they respect this country, tell them why they should have to have a kick in the face and the line cut in front of them. Tell that legal immigrant that worked really hard to get into this country, you tell them that, you did it the right way, but you're less important than the guy that's on his 5th deportation and murders Kate Steinle in San Francisco and says he was trying to hit a marine animal. He said that. He was trying to shoot a marine animal. Okay, there we are. And the liberals believe it. They're like, no, he was just trying to shoot marine animals. And then I'm sitting here thinking, don't you liberals, die from marine animals? Why are you okay with that? But, whatever. They want to satisfy some pent-up racism. You're out of your damn mind. There's another group of people that don't get enough credit. And like I said, all this is changing because of our president. But there's another group of people that don't get a lot of credit, and that's the members of our military. So if you are a military member, I want you to also stand up because you're also very important. Member of the military, your family's in the military, and that's why you believe in Turning Point, and that's why you believe in what we're doing, because you've seen the sacrifice for the greatest nation on the face of the earth, and you know that the family members or yourself that have put it all on the line for this country, you know how important that is, and that's why you're here. And that's why I can stand in front of a group of conservative kids and see that many people stand up because they've got law enforcement and military and their families. Thank you again, because it means the world to the rest of us. They think that if you say radical Islamic terror and you say that Islam might have something to do with it, they think you're mean. Meanwhile, ISIS says, hello, we are saying it. We want to establish a caliphate. We believe in Sharia law. And then the liberals go, no, they don't mean that. They don't mean that. Then the feminists, that's the funniest thing. The feminists are like, don't be mean to Islam. Don't point out that there are problems within Islam because that's mean. It's like, feminists, do you know what they do to you in Saudi Arabia? LGBT community, do you know what they do to you in these countries? They shove you off buildings that we're mean. Wait. So, because I believe that there are 2 genders, typically, I'm mean, but people are being thrown off buildings, and that's okay? We need to tolerate that? No, that's where the tolerance ends, my friends. That is where it ends. But the next thing I want to talk about is something that's also very important to me, and I have a feeling there's a lot of Texans and people from really all over this country that find this a very important thing. And that's the second most important amendment, which is the Second Amendment. I said it today, if you haven't seen my final thoughts that I put out today, I recommend that you watch them because I talk about what a snowflake is, and it's very important for these gun-hating lefties to understand a little something about guns. Here's the thing. If you've never bought, shot, or been near a firearm, but all of a sudden you are now an expert in gun policy, you're a snowflake, and you're terribly misinformed. People that tell you that AR-15, that stands for assault rifle, tell them to use the Google, because it doesn't stand for assault rifle, it stands for Armalite. It's a company that made that, but they don't know that because they say it's AR, it's assault rifle. It's not. So they've already lost the argument because they're stupid. So you tell them to use the old Google, use the old Amazon Echo or whatever they're into these days because they hate capitalism but they love Amazon. But you tell them to do a quick Google on what AR stands for because it's not assault. mother in Michigan or the family living on the farm in Wyoming, they don't care what he tweets. They care about jobs and the economy and the border and national security. Those are American issues. We had a president for 8 years that sounded real good. We had a celebrity in chief for 8 years that sounded really good. And what happened? Now this president is having to correct everything that happened the last 8 years. And you're gonna tell me you don't support him because his tweets are mean? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking? I'll take a mean tweet. When these liberals start understanding that we didn't elect Donald Trump to be nice, we elected him to get things done, maybe they'll finally get it. Maybe, but I wouldn't hold your breath because Trump derangement syndrome is in full force. It really is. Watch the news, watch CNN. And the last thing I'd really like to say is, I know we have a lot of fun chants that we say, like, build that wall, but my personal favorite is really when we call CNN what it is. So I'm gonna say CNN, and then I want you to tell me what it is. So are you guys ready? Everyone ready? So I'm gonna say CNN, and you're gonna say, fake news! I love it. And if we, I feel like if we keep saying like fake news over and over again, maybe Donald Trump will come. Like, he's close. So what I want you to do now is I want you guys to all get your phones out because maybe he'll see it. So I'm going to do it again, and I want you all to get your phones out and record this, and I want you to tweet it, and I want you to Instagram it, I want you to do whatever you do, whatever social media, put it on Tinder, I don't care. Because I'm going to say fake news, and we're going to see if we can get it all the way to the president. Are you guys ready? It's going to be fun. It's going to be like a Merry Christmas to the White House. But you guys, everyone got their phones? Everyone got their phones? All right, so I'm going to say it, and then you guys, you know what to do. Ready? What do we call CNN, guys? Hopefully he saw it. Now what we're going to do is have a little fun because I want to hear from you guys. Every single time. People will not mess with you if you stand your ground. I took on an entire network because I stood my ground. Stand your ground. You can stand your ground to anybody. And you know what? I didn't even want to bring that up, but it's an important part of my story. And I'm not going to even speak badly about the place that I used to work, mostly because it's not going to be around much longer. But beyond that, everything in life is a lesson, but stand your ground. Be yourself, be a good person, do everything with good intentions in your heart, but don't let people mess with you. Because if they find out that you're going to sit in the corner and cry about it, then they're going to take advantage of you. So stand your ground. Thank you for being bold. You're obviously very bold individual.